Like for Paruvame, he said like, "Hey, track funkiya varnunda, funky ka monkey." That's what he said. If you're writing poetry, Tamil poetry, Arif is a good choice as a narrator to read that poetry from the male
Mm-hmm.
angle. He didn't choose not to work with Santosh; he just
Hmm.
chose to work with me. Most people who I showed the album to before releasing, none of them liked it. Getting disappointed was sort of something I got used to. Getting accepted is something which is new, which I'm actually feeling right now.
Hello and welcome to the News Minute. This is Bala. Today we have a very special guest. His recent work has been widely discussed and appreciated. Welcome Tenma to the show. Uh, so how is the experience? Like everyone is celebrating your work. What kind of responses have you received so far?
I mean, collectively, really good reviews. Obviously, there are a few like who didn't like work for a few people who the music didn't work. Well, but majorly, I've been like sort of getting the good reviews.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm like feeling really happy because I was really scared how they'll receive the background score. So
Okay.
I did like little bit offbeat the score.
Right.
I didn't know how it'll work. Like for see, I did it for the movie, not thinking about the audience.
Right. Right.
But but obviously the hype we need to create, like the cinematic tensions and drops, right? That is
Right. Right.
obviously there, but like it still had a very unique sound to it. The film, it's that
Mm-hmm.
world. Natchathiram Nagargiradhu, the world had a sound to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so when people really like the background score, lots of comments, like public response, like people have been calling, industry people have been calling. It's like many big, like very popular actors, directors are sharing about the score. It feels really good. Like, um, it feels such a good thing. So that's what I'm feeling right. Feeling mainly, I'm feeling relaxed. I'm feeling valued. All of that.
So you've been an independent artist, and from there you've now come to mainstream. Can we say that you've come to mainstream?
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
So how is it like working in as an independent artist, and now working for cinema? Like these are two different mediums, right? In that sense. So like how challenging is it, or do you have to cater to your different kind of audience? Like what kind of change challenges did you face?
No, I mean catering to the audience, same audience. Like I did in Tamil independent music is for the same people who consume Tamil culture, Tamil pop culture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the audience wasn't different.
Right.
Probably the people who like generally we get attracted to us are the people who outwardly go and like search for independent music
Mm-hmm.
because they want some sort of change. But I don't know. It's like this is I worked on 3 4 films so far.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know. It's see the only difference I find is like when you write a song and you perform it live and then
Mm.
you hear the feedback while you perform it. So as an independent artist, you can perform even when it's on the scratch stage,
Right.
right? You don't have to do a produced version. After that, you'll do a produced version based on feedback, the response the crowd gives, and everything. So as an indie composer itself, I was able to do that. I was able to come to final products. Like I work like film. Like I
Right.
had the final say in what the song and idea and the production is. So that way, I was a bit I was a bit happy with that. But apart from that, I mean, like yeah, here you have to wait till the audience hear it, and that's
Right.
when it's a long process. So and another thing is resources. Money is more in cinema. So obviously you can hire more artists. You can bring more sounds and instruments on board.
Mhm. So I mean, in this, I mean, I could see that especially you tried to bring more and more, a new artist, in the through your music. So was it a deliberate choice?
It's just whichever artist work for the song only, not
Okay.
for. It just Peran Bakadil. I needed a Ranj.
Hmm.
She's an indie singer, songwriter.
Right.
So I think Ranj worked because of that. Everybody it's just for the song. Whoever I could like, MS Krishna was like see. It's like a young situation. It's like boys movie. like how
Right.
boys had like one palette to it, one young
Yeah, yeah.
set of voices. Thinking of boys, I was thinking of boys and how did it sound, and then I that's what I call MS Krishna, Muthu, all of them to work on it. But Muthu's already an established singer. MS Krishna is
Yeah,
debut.
yeah.
So it's just based on the song, based on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the song needed, I just call people. And the thing is, I have more access to independent singers than cinemas. Uh,
Established. Yeah, yeah.
Established singers, because like who am I? No, I mean not who am I. More like I'm a little like apprehensive to like
Approach them.
approach, because I don't know how to like approach them. But with indie singers, you know the language, you know what they like, so it's easy to talk to them. I don't want to approach. I don't want to be rude to a established singer. That's the thing.
So you've said that you worked for this film for almost a year, and so how was this entire process of it? Like, how would you compose a tune? How would you give it to Ranjith sir? And like, how would that happen?
And generally, we'll pick a moment which requires a song, which he's
Okay.
gonna shoot first, and then he'll give me one emotion. That emotion will work for uh, that emotion will work well. Like I mean, he'll basically give like what does he want out of this song? What should people feel? How does
Mm-hmm.
he feel? What sort of feeling he has? So
Mm-hmm.
he'll bring that emotion. நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி சொல்லணும், லைக் இந்த பிலசாபிக்கலா அந்த மாதிரி he'll get on his own. லைக் நட்சத்திரம் நகர்ந்து லைக் பீஸ்ஃபுல்லா ஒரு படம் முடிச்சு அந்த ஃபினாலே சாங் மாதிரி தான்
Mm-hmm.
யோசிச்சேன். ஸோ என்ன மாதிரி மெடிடேட்டிவ் ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு போகணும், அது மாதிரி தான். லைக் ஃபார் பருவமே he said like, ஏய் ட்ராக் ஃபங்கியா வரணும்டா, ஃபங்கி கா மங்கி, தட்ஸ் வாட் he said. So he's in a fun mood. So
Yeah.
if he's in a fun mood, okay, we need to make a fun track. So that's how Parvame happened.
Okay, I think now that you mentioned about the final song, the title track. So I mean, it's a very interesting choice that Ariv is singing. It's like him singing is like a lullaby. So what is this? I don't know if I can call it a strange choice, but yeah. How did you come up with that?
I mean, I think among all the composers who worked with Ariva, I think I know him from day one. So
Right,
I
right.
know who he is. I've seen from a very, very before, him becoming a sort of like a, like popular rapper. I saw
Mm-hmm.
him as a kid who's like, like wanting to, prove and like stand up for something, and like he had all of the stories he wanted to tell. So he did a lot of these things. In fact, Castless Collective has like Madras and Magalchi. It's a reggae
Mm-hmm.
song which Ariva sings.
Yeah,
And most of the time, when the other Ghana singers don't come, I take Ariva to sing the songs. So he sings Ghana. In fact, Ariva has sung with Santosh for Vadachanela. Kallu
yeah, right,
udikkirathu,
right, right.
kannu
Yeah, yeah. And that's
udikkirathu.
a really nice song in Vadachennai that he
Yeah,
sings
but
very beautifully.
He
Yeah,
sings really well in that song.
yeah.
Um, so Ariva has that skill. So, but for this, I thought like because he has like a Vati rate, like big tracks like that who are like super
Great.
fast rap. Even I've done a JBM anthem, which is like for rap, it's like one important track. There's one Kalamoni, all of these things. I said, okay,
Mhm.
let's slow down a little bit, slow down Ariva a little bit. So I slowed him down for this song,
Yeah.
and he can sing. So it's just that he has those singing abilities, singing. He knows how to sing these songs.
Right,
He
right.
actually sings a very good birthday song. அவன் தனியா அவன் சொன்ன ஒரு பர்த்டேக்கு ஒரு பயங்கரமான ஒரு புகழ்ந்து ஒன்று ஒரு பாட்டு பாடுவான், பயங்கரமா இருக்கும் அந்த பாட்டு. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி பாட்டுலாம் when I was like writing the song, when I was setting it up, I was like, okay, அறிவு அந்த ஜோன்ல வந்து பாடினா எப்படி இருக்கும். ஏன்னா ஒரு இட்ஸ் காட் யங் ஹீரோஸ் வாய்ஸ். ஸோ ஒரு
Right, right, right.
if you're writing poetry, Tamil poetry, Ariv is a good choice as a narrator to read that poetry from the male
Mm-hmm.
angle. So
Right.
that's why I brought Ariv, because it's a poetic song. Him singing it would be the most ideal.
I mean, was Ranjit also, did you seek his suggestion or for this,
Of
like,
course, it's we made. What he said was அவனுக்கு கொஞ்சம் திருப்பி விடுற, like
Mm-hmm.
basically it's like I think he's singing the same type a lot. There's a repetition of all of his raps. Let's try
Right,
something
right.
new with. Arivu.
So in the Rangaratnam song, you concluded with a like Ghana. There's a Ghana song like you concluded. Like was this again a deliberate decision? And like what was the idea behind this?
Social hierarchy in the Natchathiram Nagargiradhu movie, the amount of different people in the movie, right? It's not just one group of people.
Correct.
There's privileged, there's underprivileged, there's like aware, unconscious, and there's like people of different genders. There's like a lot of those things, right?
Mm.
So I felt like all of them contributed to the like the song had to introduce the world of Natchathiram, the characters who are in this world.
Yeah,
So
like
it
they are
seemed like a
people from
collective song.
different. Yeah, yeah.
It's a castless collective type song, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the idea. And
I
Ranjith
mean,
sir
like,
wanted a Ghana. Ranjith sir said just put some Ghana type situation inside. So this is technically not like a Ghana like melodic phrasing.
it is cinematic. It is cinematic, but
It is a cinematic Ghana. It's
hmm.
not an authentic Ghana.
Correct,
It's
correct,
not an
correct.
organic Ghana. It's a cinema Ghana.
No, but I don't think any Ghana is like like came it in its purest form in cinema, right? Like there was a
No, no,
it
it's
is
come, it's
so
come. There are lots of pure Ghana songs like நடுக்கடல்ல கப்பலை இறக்கி தள்ள முடியுமா or
okay,
எப்படி அம்மா மறக்க முடியும் இதயம் குமுறுது. That's one. Those
okay,
are like original Ghana songs, like really authentic.
and
Even All Tota Bhupati is an original Ghana song.
right,
Lala ki
right.
dol dabbima.
Lala told him, correct, yeah. That's a
This is more in the category of like Tatuma Sola Tatu will be more in the category of like in Hindus like eh kutti enna nanni tanna nanna nanna na ஏதோ என்
yeah,
மனசுதான் தனதன் that it will be more in that category. Deva
yeah,
Hindu category.
yeah. And what does the lyrics mean actually?
It's a tongue twister actually.
Okay, அதுக்கு ஒன்றும்
So we
மீனிங்
wanted to
எதுவும்
put
இல்லை
it like
பெருசா.
one small game only.
Okay,
So how we did tick tick யாரது திருடன் என்ன வேணும் நகை
yeah, yeah,
வேணும்
yeah, yeah.
for Cass's character. So we sort of discussed we'll put one tongue twister inside. தட்டுமா
Hmm.
சொல்ல தட்டு காலிக்கு முக்கா துட்டு தாத்தா தாத்தா தா, all of those. கொட்டுமா நாலு கொட்டு பட்டாளத்து மச்சானுக்கு. So it's like a tongue twister. We just wanted to put it in there.
Okay. And I wanted to ask, I mean, like, this is a very fascinating thing for me. Like Rene Natchathiram, you also have, like, chosen your own name, like, that's now
Mm.
your identity. Could you, speak about this?
It's very interesting that only recently people have been asking me. I guess I kept it because I didn't want this. I wanted to create my own identity only.
Right.
It's actually what Rene says only. It's my own social identity. I didn't want to be associated with anything. I just wanted to be I create this new life for this new name.
Hmm.
So this I took a decision many years ago,
Hmm.
and so whatever glory this name gets is what this name has accomplished, not
Hmm.
because of its family or like relatives or like social capital. Nothing. It's because this name worked for it
Right,
by
right.
itself
And it's a character's name, right, in a manga.
in manga and monster. So I like
Yeah.
that character because he crossed a lot of obstacles and he gets into this. He still believes that he can. He's very righteous. His anger is very righteous. I like a lot of things about Kenzo Tenma. So I decided, okay, I think by having his name also might give me some hope.
When did you chose this identity?
I think 2013, 12, 13 came in
Uh,
on short film where I did music for. My friend was
okay.
a filmmaker. He said like, "What name would you like to keep for the?" So that time we were actually talking a lot about like Mishkin, director Mishkin.
Right, 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 right.
Like I studied Viscom, so I had a lot of filmmaker friends with me. So we always talk about new filmmakers in Tamil cinema, and that time Mishkin was like, for us, it's like super. Like when we were in college, like when I was in college, Mishkin was like the most like for us, just like yeah, Mishkin is the thing because he did these offbeat films. He tried these new, the way he speaks, everything I liked about him. I still
Yeah,
like
very
about him.
good filmmaker.
Yeah, and he talks about a lot of literature, a lot of like thing, and he's such a adamant and like stubborn like person, right? As an artist,
Yeah, yeah.
is so inspiring, no?
Correct.
So I used to then basically when I was putting this name together, that's when Mishkin Tenma, like that, like Mishkin from Dostoevsky's Idiot, Tenma from Naoki's Monster.
It is very unfair and unfortunate that you, I mean, I don't know, probably you were under immense pressure because this is the first time Paranjit has chosen not to work with Santosh, and he worked with you. So there must be a lot of pressure saying, because they both delivered amazing songs together, and there's always expectation, right? And any minor flaw, whatever, it could always the immediate remark would be Santosh பண்ணிருந்தா நல்லா இருந்திருக்கும், something like that, right? So did you face feel that?
See, questionல ஒரு முரண் இருக்குது. He didn't choose not to work with Santosh. He just
Hmm.
chose to work with me because he just wanted a different sound.
Hmm.
Um, I guess no, but people say that like well, it'll come. It'll. I can't be like so like magnanimous to say that oh none of these things just bother me. It did. It did not bother me, but it did come into my head. But
Hmm.
immediately I said, okay, this is my movie. I need to be, I need to be worried about what work I do rather than these external influences. So I
Correct.
worked just keeping early on itself. I dismissed all of those things, and Santosh, in fact, I was the one who told him like I'm doing this for him. So he, in fact, told me, give it your best, be the epic version of yourself. So he was. So I didn't. The person who we are taking into conversation to make this sort of argument itself is really cool.
Hmm.
I think we can work without fear after a point. That's what happened. I just worked without like panic and fear. I just worked towards finishing a good. Just wanted to prove myself as a composer.
And this realization that you said that I just need to worry about my work, but not about comparison, like how early was it, like immediately or what?
Because I signed up before he released Sarpeta.
Correct. Okay.
So I was a little bit early on. I started like early on. I started like thinking about that because the reactions um, about that comparison before it came online. Obviously, with production, like not production, like just some people will speak right in the industry
Correct.
because they know the movie. I'm going to do the music for this film. Some people spoke, but that didn't matter
Hmm.
because after I spoke to Santosh sir, I was feeling really good about it. So, okay, பேசுனா பேசிட்டு தான் இருப்பான் அது நம்ம வந்துட்டு பாதர் பண்ண முடியும். If you miss it, I can't do anything about it. The movie is already released.
But I think now everybody has acknowledged what kind of work you've done, and everything about the movie is being celebrated. I would say that your music is one of the biggest strengths of the movie,
Thank
because
you so
it
much.
has a really good vibe to it. Like the complete album. If you listen to it, I could just picture my watching that entire film in that sense, for each song. So.
Yeah, see, before that's what somebody asked me before release interview. Like, don't you feel worried that the songs are too connected to the script that people
Hmm.
won't feel like you're like doing something really experimental? And in fact, you won't believe it. Uh, Most people who I showed the album to before releasing, just like some people, my colleagues in the industry, just to get some feedback before release, none of them liked it.
Right. Okay. That's sad.
Nobody really liked it. They were like, why, it's too experimental. And do you think the people will understand this, like this sort of music and all? I was like, this is what the script requires.
Hmm.
This is the world it requires. I do. If I go out of this, I feel like I'm failing to do my job for the script and Ranjith sir's vision.
Correct.
Song is done and produced. I'm going to release it, and I'm going to face the heat, whatever it is, whether it's good or bad. I'm ready to face the heat. So I was prepared to face the heat. So whether
Yeah.
people didn't like it, so like all the good reviews are just making me, you know, feel like really happy that I was right. Like,
Yeah.
don't think we should like underestimate the audience. You know,
Hmm.
they're really super intelligent because I'm also an audience, right? I was an audience member who became a industry
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So obviously, as an audience, I wanted something, and I guess this time people wanted some sort of like new this sort of an idea. So yeah,
And the people you mentioned earlier about, like, to whom you showed your, entire album, like, has their opinion changed after watching the film?
no, they're a little taken aback. A lot of people asked
Okay.
me. They were like, "Oh, we were wrong."
Okay.
They were like, "It's." I mean, they changed, but it took a bit of time.
Okay. So there was a process for them to.
It was a process, but that I think that's fine
Hmm.
because because nobody knows, right? Like, see,
Hmm.
even I, although I was confident about the music, we don't know what how the audience react, right? They might not like it also. So as and like I've had a lot of incidents where they didn't like my work. So
Okay.
in my life, so getting disappointed was sort of something I got used to. Getting accepted is something which is new, which I'm actually feeling right now. Feeling accepted, right? That's what I'm honestly coming back to your first question. How are you feeling? I'm really to just like sort of reiterate. I'm feeling valued and accepted. So,
Okay.
so that's what like I really actually have to thank the audience more than anybody else for really believing my vision of the music.
I, simply loved Dammam because that music was outstanding. The entire music for it was really outstanding. Actually, you could actually also talk about Dammam. Like, how was it working with working in that film?
It's actually the first time I'm working with Ranjith sir. There was no
Hmm.
script at all. He didn't tell me script, nothing. He told me. In
Okay.
fact, he told me படம் வருது இந்த மூணு இடத்துல மியூசிக் பண்ணித்தா. I was just like, okay, send it across. He didn't tell me what is happening. And I was like, okay, cool, just send it across, sir. Like, I mean, we're in the same sort of movement, right? Like, I'm in the movement, so like,
Hmm.
obviously, he's not going to make an incorrect thing.
Yeah.
And I saw it, like, Selva sent the film, and I was like, who? I didn't think it was his film only.
Okay.
You get it? I thought it was somebody else's film. He's asking me to do
Okay.
some work. So then it only realized it was his film. And it was so when I saw the film, I was just like, sir, the music is தேவையில்லையா? That's what I told him. இதே சூப்பரா இருக்குது. இல்ல இல்ல அங்க மட்டும் அங்க திரும்புறது மட்டும் ஒரு ஏதாவது பண்ண முடியும். Okay, then I thought about it. Okay, I got a little panicked at that time because just after that I realized it's this film. I am doing the music, so I'm the music director for this film. That those sort of questions came into my head. I was like, okay, let me do this thing. So when I did it, um, I thought, okay, I'll try to do like a world for this. I'll create like this because there was a its politics was sort of evolving into something else.
Right.
Like the first half of Ranjit, like first phase of Ranjit's politics, Paranjit politics evolved into the phase two. So I saw Dammam as a start point for phase two.
Hmm.
So so I thought, okay, fine, let me create a world like sort of like this village which is not which should be slightly which should be Tamil as well as like the sort of a Buddhist vibe. In fact, News Minute wrote the Soumya wrote that thing only perfectly spoiled it. I just needed for the Buddhist sort of a village.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because when I saw the statue, it just seems like for me the entire because it's such a small space. What where it happens, it's just one
Yeah.
small patch of land, like couple of patches, I guess, couple of patches of land. I just made it into like sort of when I saw the film, I just decided, okay, I'm just going to do it like like a hopeful like a village of redemption,
Hmm.
like a shrine of redemption. So let me go in the Buddhist sort of like ideology sounds and build this village so that because when they leave that village, that this sort of like this sort of like this redemption sort of temple which I
Yeah,
built sonically.
yeah,
So when they
yeah.
leave, they just leave with throwing all of that, casteist nonsense outside and go.
Talking about cashless collective, so now we are, now probably you must have been approached by music directors like, from the film industry or something. So like how are you going to take forward cashless collective as well?
No idea, man. Like we'll have to go play it by ear and go take it one day at a time
Yeah.
because it's just a little difficult to answer right now. Even casteist
Mhm.
collective has to evolve into something else. That's what I feel, but I don't know. Let's see what the future holds.
I mean, like, what kind of evolution do you want? Do you picture?
Many casteless collectives.
Okay,
I feel we need more than just one.
right.
So I think that will be um, more efficient for the movement.
Mhm.
More, it will that. So that's what I feel. But let's see. That's what. But we have to play it by ear.
Yeah. So I've read one of your earlier interviews. I think this was probably around the time when Gundu was about to release. So in that, you mentioned that you dislike music being associated with divinity or anything. Like you said,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be romanticized. So could you elaborate on that?
No, no, I don't like music. Not like I hate divinity. I just don't like the. Um, I couldn't enter, no, for so long.
Right,
I couldn't enter
right,
it
right, right.
completely, like the systems of music. So so many people will be going through that, right? So I just feel like that it's a democratic human thing, comes
Mhm.
from the soul. But people can say wherever it comes for them, like, but that's the thing. Um, about they're also very religious. A lot of musicians who are religious,
Hmm.
very like extremely religious, and they have like this relationship with God and everything. But I think that is all like I understand I respect where their faith that music sort of becomes a medium to strengthen the faith. But for me, that
Mhm.
faith was within, like the faith of myself, whether I can go forward. So
Mhm.
for me, I don't like that divinity towards music. Divine with that person, okay, you can be divine, you can be all of those things. That's your choice. But music should be a democratic form. It should be for people and non-believers as well. It's
Correct.
always been for non-believers, and these non-believers doesn't mean they don't believe in anything. They believe in themselves, right? So that's why they took the decision to not believe anything but themselves.
Yeah.
So I guess
And
those it should be for me. I just want music to be a little bit just for everybody, more
right.
welcoming. It should be more welcoming.
A pick. What is your favorite song among this entire album?
Too difficult, but like I think. Every interview I'm telling one song so that I'll promote the song at various levels.
That's a very wise
For
thing.
this interview, and I think I would like to promote Kadalar. Kadalar is one of my favorite songs for this interview. Next interview will be Janame. You'll never know which song.
Okay, Tenma, thank you so much, and
Thank you, Bala.
thanks for this. I had a really, a lovely time chatting with you.